my mom actually always wanted to be an optometrist. And she was studying in the UK. And I don't know what the name of the exam is, but you have to write some kind of like board exam or something to pass and like officially be an optometrist, or don't quote me on this. I don't know. But you know, you have to like pass some test. The
professional like
and
designation.
that is the thing where if you pass it, you're in, and if you don't, you're not. And she had been like studying and working so hard and doing that, and she took the test and she didn't pass. And not that she failed miserably, like I think it wasn't like, you know, it just like she was close but not close enough, you know. And it was like this earth-shattering thing for her, and she just like totally shut the door on that that hope and that dream. And I remember, like, you know, this is like, she must have been in her 20s when this happened. Like, she's young and still like trying to figure out what she's doing in life and whatever. And like years and years later, like just like towards the end, I think she knew that it was her time. I think she knew that she wasn't going to be around much longer. And that was one of the things that she brought up. You know, and it sticks with me. It's always stuck with me. Like, I don't want to be in that place. I don't want to be towards the end of my life wondering, like, what if I had rewritten that exam? What if I hadn't applied to RPI? What if I didn't ask for the funding? What if I, you know? So it's like, it seems very dramatic, but but this is based on like my like direct lived experience and like the very traumatic things that I've seen firsthand. And I just, like, my parents died so young, and I don't feel like they truly got a chance to live like the full potential of their lives. Not because, I mean, to some extent, I think it was based off of the choices that they made and like not following the things that they might have necessarily felt so passionate about. And the other side of it is, it was just circumstance. They didn't control, like, how can you control getting sick? And how can you control those things? You know, that's totally out of their hands. And that's just, you know, the powers that be, like whatever you believe in. But I don't, like, if I ever come to that place in my life where I am sick or I get hit by a truck or whatever, I want to die knowing that I've lived a full life and I'm very content. And this is going to sound really fucked up, but at this very moment where I am sitting right now, if something was to happen and this tree outside fell over and like crushed me and I died, I would be fine. Like, I feel very content with the life that I've led. Even like as young as I am right now, like, I've lived a very full life. I've seen some shit. I've done some shit. And I feel good about it. Like, I think for me, I regret more so the things that I don't do than the things that I do.
Of course.
And I realized that at a very young age. But again, because of the cards that I was dealt in my life. And I don't think everyone gets the same, not everyone gets dealt the same hand. Nobody gets dealt the same hand. But I think for me, it's also how I like rectify the really shitty things that have happened in my life. And how I'm able to like get on with my day and not feel like crushed by the loss and grief of like very important people in my life and that type of thing.
I don't think that's a fucked up thing at all. I think it's an incredibly, I think about death a lot. And
Me too.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well,
Like,
I would, understandably, I think, unfortunately.
It's
But
very morbid.
fortunately,
Yeah.
but I think, like, I have this really strong sense that the people who are the most in touch with death are the ones who are the most alive, because they have that feeling of, I think the more you ignore death or try to block it out, the more you are actually dead day to day, because you're not in touch with that voice of how you truly want to be spending your time and your voice and your time on this that you have.
In a weird way, it's almost like I'm letting that fear drive me.